When do you think the current bull run will end? Great question. Great question. Bill, what do you think?
Okay, well, it depends what we call the current bull run. Uh, the way I want to do this is we've had the Santa rally that comes from equities. Then we've had the January effect. So, like, that is folklore for whatever happens in the first trading week of January will determine how the year goes. So, if it's up the first week of January, it's up for the year. And I think these things now apply to crypto because all the guys that were moving equities around based on this folklore are now playing in Bitcoin. So the next one coming up is sell in May and go away, which means in May, you sell, you go on a vacation, and you come back for the summer rally in July. So if we're going to have a 2-month interruption, it'll probably be then. Um, all bets are off if you start to see geopolitical tensions. So if someone is asking me, hey, Bill, like, what could just end this, right? Like, is there a crash and burn scenario? Yeah, it would be instead of storming the Capitol, nations and governments start fighting again, each other. I've heard a lot of parallels to 1937. I don't put a lot of credence in it. I don't study it the way other people study it. But, obviously, as you can tell, people are sort of in a mood to fight. So as long as there's no war, I think we're okay. And I'm going to stick with sell in May and go away.
All right. So I kind of shared this on the last live stream as well, but I'll go through it again. So even though it's not the best sample size, if we look at the history of Bitcoin after the halving, every bull market has lasted longer than the last, right? So if we go back all the way to 2011, the first Bitcoin bull market was 243 days, and the next one was 368, then 525. So if we're looking at the next Bitcoin bull run, I think it has to be larger than 525 days. Now, depends on when exactly we begin, right? But if we begin from May 14 to 2020, right? I think we're basically looking at almost 2 years, right? So I think maybe all the way up until definitely all of 2021. And then all the way maybe up until early 2022. Obviously, this is not too scientific, but I think so far things have played out pretty well looking at this chart. The one thing to note though, the ROI on Bitcoin has also been lower with every bull market, right? So here, Bitcoin went up basically 177x. Then over here, it went up to 92x, then 29x. And then from here, what's Bitcoin's price in May? It was, but anyway, Bitcoin has already exceeded my expectations. And I think almost anybody, if you ask anybody, would Bitcoin be at 40K this fast? I don't think we saw this coming, but we're definitely not complaining. But because of this, because I mean, maybe because I've used this chart before in the past, last year, to say that I think Bitcoin would be around 45 to 50K, but it's already there right now. But maybe that becomes the new base and support for Bitcoin. Maybe after it goes, let's say Bitcoin goes to 200K and comes back and crashes at 50K. Kind of like how we did back in 2017, 2018. It went all the way up to 19K, came back down to 3K. 3K was support, and then it bounced back, right? So maybe 45, 50K is the new support long term. But this is also why I'm more bullish on Ethereum, because Bitcoin, while it's great, it's gonna, every bull market, it does not go up as much as the last bull market. So if we're really trying to make a lot of money, we have to look at other altcoins, right? So Ethereum and the market, basically Ethereum and the field. But this is kind of my take on it. So long story short, this bull run could last, I think, easily 2 years or longer. Any other comments on that, Bill?
You know, the next big inflection point politically, which I think is going to be a big driver for crypto, could be the November election in 2022. You might also expect that the virus problem might get worse and they may not be able to get a handle on it until 2022. So the virus and all of the government's financial irresponsibility that they've had to do in response to the virus, yeah, it makes sense. Everyone expects the bad things to go away and they don't. And that benefits crypto for a year or a year and a half.
All right. So let us know what you think down in the comments below. Do you believe, or rather, when do you think the bull run will end? Tell us the exact day and time down below, and let's see who's right.